before him, not a
Everything.
single fort remains. I think that was all of them.
As sub-prior, I have even more responsibilities than the prior himself. And more worries.
Hey.
What do we have? Better stay away or Remigius will start scolding me too.
How you can possibly regain our trust.
Apsa? Oh. From here the cathedral looks finished. Only a few more years. Tom's name will be known in all of England. I think we've done everything now. Well, every zone at least.
You're not heathens, are you? No. So right. Oh, you're not heathens. Then you should know better.
Huh. If anyone knows where I can find the Amores, then it's the monks from the scriptorium.
Young monk, very focused or just afraid. Should take a break. Window. Remigius is still down there. He seems really upset. Another young monk working hard should relax, at least while Remigius is gone. Young monk, good guy, a monk, but a friend. Books. So many stories. So much wisdom. Most of them more interesting than the Bible. Oof.
Hey, can I read what you're working on?
No, Remigius will get angry if I don't finish this.
What are you working on?
Go away. I have to focus.
What is it that you're working on?
I'm copying pages of the book Prior Philip wrote. We finished the original last year.
I didn't know he wrote a book.
Not many know of it. The content
He's critical of the church and bishops. After his experience with Bishop Waleran, he studied about what he calls Judicia Cleri.
Judicia Cleri? The judgments of the clergy?
Yes. In the past, there were many cruel tests that were made to discover whether a man was guilty or not. The Lord was to judge them. These ordeals were called Judicium Dei, the judgment of God. Some had to hold burning iron in their bare hands. Others were drowned. Some were burned on the pyre. And if they were innocent, God would save them.
There'd be no martyrs if that were true. Even Adolphus would have been saved.
Yes, God works in mysterious ways. The prior wants these horrible ordeals to become a thing of the past, for cruelty only leads to more cruelty.
But I heard of miracles. Saints that survived burnings.
True. However, Prior Philip believes these were not judgments of God, but judgments of the clergy.
Judicia Cleri.
Yes! Stories and fake ordeals to redeem friends and allies of the clergy.
Fake miracles. By the church? Ooh, that sounds like Philip is asking for trouble. Whoever is accused of fakery and heresy will not be likely to respond well to that.
But we believe Philip is right.
This is the second millennium. We must finally learn from past mistakes.
Inspect. Philip's book, The Justice of the Church, written in 1140. Written in Latin, Philip's book is copied by the scribes and illuminators of Kingsbridge and has found its way into larger libraries of England and Normandy. It's mostly read in the higher circles of the clergy because its content is of complicated and delicate nature. In this book, Philip writes critical about ordeals by fire, water, and other means. For centuries, the official purpose of these ordeals was to decide whether a man or a woman was guilty or not. According to the clergy, if someone was not guilty, he or she will be saved by God from a cruel and certain death. Prior Philip writes that the Lord simply cannot be summoned by man, not even the Pope, to pass judgment. Man must serve the Lord does not serve man. Philip believes that miracles that have happened during these ordeals were nothing but lies to protect and exonerate members of and allies of the clergy. Enemies of the clergy, on the other hand, were killed or seriously hurt and disgraced. Furthermore, Philip writes that the suffering of the martyrs of the past proves that God is not simply saving people from burning or drowning. According to Philip, these ordeals must be stopped at all costs. Young monk. Smart monk, always good to talk to him.
There are many I've not read. Most of them, actually.
Ah, Jack. I knew you'd be back. Just be careful that Remigius doesn't see you.
But Philip said I'm welcome to read and study here.
Not while we're working. Remigius insisted.
I'll try to be quick. No. It's not here. Maybe the monks know where I can find the book. No, it's not. Maybe the monks... I'm looking for a book by Ovid.
Oh, we saw some in Shiring and in Winchester.
There are also a few copies in Southbury, I believe. Which ones are you looking for?
The Amores?
Have you heard of that? That was one of the copies in Winchester, I think. Did you read it?
Me? I don't remember.
He did.
Just a page or two.
Sounds like the right book, and Winchester's not far. I should tell Ali what I found out.
Alright. So, that's that done.
We place our trust in you. We take you in.
Let's pick a fight with Alfred.
Once the west side and its towers rise above the priory, it'll be even more impressive. Only a few more years. What I'd give to build at least one of the towers.
Oh no, wait, we were going to the kitchen first. Let's do the kitchen first.
Hello, Milius.
Jack, and Jonathan. This is not the best of times.
Brother Cuthbert could have been a little more careful in storing the apples down here.
I'm sure it's fine, Brother Andrew.
I am not so sure. Even the salt is damp.
Cuthbert knew what he was doing.
What is Brother Andrew up to?
We will get a new cellar soon. Andrew is preparing everything. Maybe they should get a new kitchener as well.
Why?
If what Cuthbert did was not good enough, then what I can do can't be much better. Cuthbert knew so much more than I did.
One, two.
Alright, what do we have? Exit. To the market. Wonder why Milius stays in here. Seems to be in a bad mood. Kitchen utensils, not my kind of tools. Maybe I should learn cooking. Can't be that hard. Mortar. There we go. Cuthbert's mortar. I miss him.
There's not.
Stove and hot stones. Much too warm in here. Couldn't stand around here all day. Andrew. Taking stock. New cellarer to come soon. And then we have Jonathan again. Let's talk
You
with
miss
Milius.
Cuthbert, hmm?
I do. The thought of being here without him.
But you won't be alone.
I'd rather be alone than spend the rest of my days cooped up in here with someone like Brother Andrew. Or whoever will be the new cellarer.
Did you talk to Philip about it?
You know, I think I should. But Philip and I haven't talked since Cuthbert passed on. As prior, he always has something else to worry about.
It's true, but his subjects are his responsibility too.
Milius, what do you do when you don't want to work?
Well, I don't know. I just take a step back and think about why I have trouble doing my work. Usually I'm just distracted by an idea or a thought, and I start pondering.
Exactly. That's what happens to me too.
Try not to follow your thoughts like will-o'-the-wisps. Just notice them for a second, see them fading away, and then continue working. Do the next step, and the next. Jack?
What?
Never mind.
I was listening, really.
Let's take a mortar.
Now, let's see. Here we go. Yes. Just a little more. Good. And now, what? Milius?
Yes?
Do you know how to make a bar?
Indeed. All it takes is some hot fat and beeswax.
Ah, thank you.
Great.
You know, you really wouldn't make a bad monk, Jack.
What, me? I think that would be a problem.
Why? You can read, you know about herbs, and you are good company.
Is this supposed to be wine?
What?
Here, in the corner.
No, it's vinegar.
It's vinegar. That shouldn't be here.
Yes, it should.
What was Cuthbert thinking?
Oh, Lord. Give me the strength to endure this without chasing Brother Andrew from my kitchen.
I don't think I would make a good monk.
Why not? Philip thinks so too. He told me.
Never mind why. I don't need to be a monk to come around and talk to you, right?
That is true.
And I think I should get back to work soon. Thank you for your help.
You aren't gonna talk with the other guy? I guess not. Alright, so we can go and give the bomb now.
Try this.
Whenever did you find the time to make a bomb, handsome Jack? Don't you have work to do?
Who would I be if I could just pass by ladies in need?
Does that mean you'll join us and do some filling?
I have my own work to do, so that won't work, I'm afraid.
Oh, of course. Suddenly you've got work to do. But I dare say, that bomb works. My hands feel much better. Thank you.
You're welcome, ladies.
Alright, that's done. Corbel, Winchester. So where should you be? She's no longer at the mill, probably at their house. Try double clicking, it doesn't work here.
Come on, Jonathan. Let's tell Ali what I found out.
cat.
Ranulph of Chester and his half-brother stole Lincoln Castle from Stephen. At least this is a chance for us to take it back.
For us? Who is us? The whole of England is strangled by new taxes and torn apart by this senseless quarrelling.
Senseless quarrelling? You still think I'm just playing around?
No.
I put my life at risk, Annie, for you and me. This isn't a game.
I know that.
Do you? It's an honor to be one of the King's Knights.
An honor that costs a lot of money.
Oh, now you broke it, Jonathan.
There's someone at the door. I'll be right back.
Oh. Go play.
Jack.
Hey.
So,
Yes.
what brings you here?
I
Everything all right there?
Yes, it will just take a minute. Sorry, but my brother is waiting. He has to ride back to Shiring soon.
I see. All right. I just wanted to tell you that I found out about the book.
What book? Oh, Ovid. You were still looking for that.
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. It just feels like there are so many problems right now at the construction site. That reminds me. Could you tell Philip that I've come up with an idea how he can pay the workers?
Oh. How?
I'll buy up all of his wool and sell it on the fleece fair myself. But I need to go to Shiring first and get the money.
All right. I'll tell him. By the way, they have a copy of the Amores in Winchester.
Oh? I think I know someone who might be able to get it. But first we need to make sure Philip gets his money and talks to Percy.
Who?
Percy Hamley, the Earl.
Percy Hamley, the fat oaf.
Congratulations, everybody heard you.
So what? They're all bastards.
I think I should be going.
Oh, all right. See you later, Jack?
Of course.
Bastards.
Get that word really quick, little brother.
So for them you've got money, Ali?
So you were eavesdropping on me. Great. That deal with Philip will help them and us, Richard.
Robert of Gloucester is advancing on Lincoln as we speak. Tomorrow we will ride from Shiring. And what I need from you is money for a new sword and a gambeson. And I want my shield painted in Stephen's colours.
Is this leading anywhere, Richard? You've been doing this for years now, and has the king ever considered making you Earl of Shiring?
Not yet. But I fought side by side with him before. He knows my name, Ali.
Oh, all right. I will meet you in Shiring, and I'll bring the money.
Alright, so we need to tell someone something, and finish, and make Alfred pay. I really don't see any other option except maybe using the ants on him. Or writing something mean in the sand. Oh, we're automatically
Father
talking to
Philip.
him.
Yes? Aliena says you can pay your workers. She has enough money to buy up all the Priory's wool and sell it in Shiring. And that way, you get your money earlier.
Really?
But you have to accompany her to Shiring. She has to fetch the money first.
The sooner the better. I have to talk to Percy Hamley anyway. Thank you, Jack. Now you better get back to work. Tom wanted to talk to you.
Hey, there it goes again. The music cuts off. And it wasn't even at the end of the conversation this time, which was kind of weird. Alright, so we need to find Tom.
Yeah, if I talk to Tom now, he'll insist I stay at the construction site and work. Am I really done out here? I think I'll go and see Tom later. Do you have a moment?
Of course.
Take care for now.
All right, you too.
I mean, Alfred's inside as well. Yeah, let's just go in.
Yeah, if I talk to Tom now, am I?
Jack!
What?
Come here, please. You wanted to finish your core bill, and I let you. Sub-Prior me just told me you disturbed the monks in the scriptorium.
Philip told me to practice reading.
The Bible, not the kind of book you were looking for. Then you go and waste your time in the cemetery and the market, and in the kitchen, and chatting to the Fullers.
I made a balm for them. I wanted to help them.
You should have been working instead. Don't you know how close we are to shutting down the construction? If I'd not planned ahead, it would all be over now. But how am I to plan ahead if I can't rely on you, Jack?
What? Watch out! Whoa.
Are you all right?
Yes.
Up here! Hey, hurry up, quick!
What's going on here?
Your son thinks I dropped the stones.
You were the one who pulled them up, weren't you?
Of course. That is my job.
He was probably angry because he might not get paid.
Alfred, stop it.
What?
Peter, what happened?
I'm not sure. But there was a monk. He was wearing a black robe. And when he saw me looking at him, he ran away. Maybe it was him.
A black robe? Are you saying this was my fault?
No, no. I'm sure I didn't recognize him. He wasn't from here.
No. Peter dropped the stone and doesn't want to admit it.
I assure you, a monk would never do such a thing.
Did I see a black monk in the
I
market?
don't believe him.
Alfred is wrong. It was an accident. We need to be thankful that nothing happened.
Already talking like a monk.
What?
Jack is right. Let's just leave it at that.
What about the monk?
We don't know that there was a monk.
Accidents happen. We'll check all the ropes to make sure that won't be another one.
At least that will be good. Letter from Francis. My dear Philip, it's been far too long since we spoke last. To tell the truth, there's little I can write, as all of Earl Robert's scribes are sworn to secrecy. I remember well when we saw each other on New Year's Day and talked about the world of politics. Now that a few years have passed and the conflict between my Earl Robert and Stephen is still raging on, I can understand why you chose the life of a prior. Involving oneself in politics has always led only to more suffering. I am accompanying Robert of Gloucestershire on his quest against Stephen through England. Wherever we go, everyone talks about the wonderful work Prior Philip of Kingsbridge is doing. Your Saint Adolphus is well known even in Wales and Scotland now. Your brother Francis.
Excuse me, Philip? Philip?
I'm sorry.
Is everything all right?
I was just thinking about my brother. What is it? Aliena is ready to go to shiring with you.
Then I must not keep her waiting. As we rode, Aliena expressed relief that Percy Hamley held court in Shiring Town during the Fleece Fair, and not in her father's castle. I had not yet confessed to Aliena that I blamed myself for her father's fate. I felt the guilt and shame starting to rise when we came to a large group of peasants looking as desperate as the refugees that had come from Earl's Castle back then.
Talk to peasants or head to Shiring? Are we in, like... Do we have time trouble? I don't think we're in that great a hurry.
Philip stopped to talk to the peasants, and so did I. Of course he couldn't pass by people in need of help. Not even when he was on his way to try and save Kingsbridge from another attack by the Hamleys. Two of the peasants broke into tears and begged for food. Philip was mortified as they grabbed the hem of his robe and pleaded for mercy. They said they were from Wigley. They had illegally erected a mill and hadn't paid taxes to the Earl of Shiring for grinding flour. I bit my lip when they mentioned the title that used to belong to my father. As punishment, the Earl had destroyed their mill. Philip seemed unsure what to say about Percy Hamley's punishment for these peasants. I was less hesitant.
I mean, if I was the Earl, I would have said that they just have to pay the increased taxes until the debt was settled. Like, this way he won't get any money. Like, both the peasants and the Earl losing his choice. Like,
I asked why they'd built an illegal mill. The peasants told us that milling taxes had doubled in their village. The peasants shouted and cried that the Earl had also burnt their fields, destroyed their houses, and taken their livestock from them. A few of them had even been killed. Philip told them to go to Kingsbridge for food. As we rode on, he said nothing. Maybe he had begun to lose hope that he would ever solve his problems with the Earl in Shiring.
that was weird. Took like 6 clicks to get that working. Head to Shiring.
I had never trusted the Hamleys, but it seemed I had grown careless over the years. They had thus far kept their word to King Stephen, but now I felt I should have known that they would eventually break it. As I was thinking these grim thoughts, we passed by a gallows with 2 men dangling by their necks. An old woman stood by one of the corpses and snarled at us.
Do we stop and talk with the woman? Well, we aren't in that big a hurry, like I said, so why not?
The old woman looked at us like a cornered animal. Philip demanded to know what had happened. She cackled and shook her head. She continued looking through the dead men's clothes. She'd already taken off their shoes and found a couple of coins on one of the corpses. Only now I realized that someone had tied foxtails to the corpses. Their hands had been cut off and their faces were burnt.
Foxtails? What the hell does that mean? So they won't need it
I asked with a
anymore.
stern voice what had happened to the men. The old woman cackled and said that they had played with fire. When Philip asked that she should, by God, answer my question, she became serious. She told him that these men were poachers caught by the Earl's men hunting in his forests. Philip rode on, and when I caught up with him, I could see that now, more than ever, he was determined to talk to Percy Hamley.